What is up, everyone, and welcome back to another REFSIX weekly vlog. Now, if you'd have seen last week, we were at Dover, and this week we've got a Tuesday night game at South Park. So, as you can see, I look like a mess. I'm in my running gear, it's peeing down with rain, and I've just done my recovery session from yesterday's game. So, it was a 7.5k run. It was a little bit quicker than I wanted it to be, but my legs felt good. So, the plan for the rest of the week is tomorrow is Monday, work from home. And Tuesday I've got to go into the office, which is fine, you know, we're used to this sort of thing now. So I'm preparing food for Tuesday. Monday I might do a double session. I might do a push session in the morning and then a speed session in the evening, or the other way around, vice versa, depending on how I get up in the morning and how I feel. But for the rest of the day, it's just relax and recover. I've had my debrief. It's just time to chill out. I've got my run done early. So yeah, so far so good. Let's crack on with the rest of the week. I am with Dan Cooper this week as well, who you've seen many times in the vlogs. And we are at South Park versus Walton and Hersom. So I'll see you in a bit. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to match day. So the time is 9 o'clock and I am at REFSIX HQ. So I've already had an absolute clanger. I forgot my lunch. So I'm gonna have to go out for lunch, pick up something. Don't know what it's gonna be yet. We'll see if the boys are in or out. But that's fine. Dinner has already started to be prepared for when I get back. And yeah, it's just going to be a day in the office, leave slightly earlier, eat earlier, and then head off to the ground. So I will probably catch you at lunch to let you know what I had in the end. And then at dinner when I get home. So hopefully it's not a rush and hopefully we can get things under control. Because that's everything about a midweek game. It's all about, can we get it under control and not get too excited and too rushed. So hopefully it's an easy day at work and nice and chill. So I'll catch you outside. Okay, so it's 4:30. I've made it back. 40 minutes countdown is on to get ready to go. So I've quickly thrown all my gear on the bed in a nice manner, obviously. And this is what I'm bringing to the game tonight. So fun fact for today is South Park of 4, Walton and Hersom, I think that's what it's called. Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments. Are 6. So it's a top of the table clash. So probably the biggest game I've done so far this year in terms of level 3, in terms of, you know, like these are both going for promotion. So hopefully it's a good game of football. The second one is Walton and Hersom are the TikTokers for the youngest football club owners. So hopefully they're at the game and I can have a quick chat, say hi, how's it going? But yeah, they're there. But obviously my main focus today is to deliver the game safely. This is what I'm bringing. Start with the boring stuff. Crime sheets is what we call them, the referee's report. We've seen them every week. Sweets, Star Mix again, because I bought a 10-pack. Fruit salad gel, definitely going to need this tonight. Box of tricks, wash bag. We have strawberry and lime. Bought a 10-pack of them as well, but I've still got some berry. Dirty kit bag. Boots today of choice are going to be the Adidas Copas. Towel, warm-up stuff. I'm going to reckon this is the last, it's still quite warm, last short sleeve Under Armour. Undershorts, 2 pairs of shorts, match top with the new 2022 kit. Socks, these are the Nike ones because my True socks haven't dried in time, which is unfortunate. So, I'm going to pack all this up and the next time you'll see me will be pre-match meal. So 15 minutes to go, half an hour, feel pretty chilled out. And this is dinner, it's mushroom pasta. So loads of carbs, which is great. What are we? Just under 2 hours and 45 minutes till match, or till the kickoff. So this should keep me going, obviously with plenty of gels, water, hydro tablets, the whole shebang. So I'm looking forward to tucking into this. It's a nice big portion. Had a pretty small lunch, as you saw, because I forgot my lunch that I had packed, so a little bit of a wet lunch, so this makes up for everything. Yeah, eat this, and then I'm going to head off and collect Cooper. So, as always, my pre-match playlist is here, and I will catch you guys at the ground.
next day.
Hello everybody. So unfortunately I did have a nice chat with Dan last night, but the sound didn't work, which is quite frustrating, but there's not really too much I can do about that. We just spoke about the game in general and how we felt it went in terms of the temperature of the game, which I'll discuss a little bit now. But so I've got my REFSIX stats up here on the iPad, filmed on my phone obviously. 8.5k run. Not as much as I thought. I thought I worked really hard in the game, and if I scroll down to my heart rate stats, it shows that my heart rate was quite high. Max heart rate 176. Average in the second half was high, 10 beats per minute higher than the first half, which is quite interesting. But in terms of the heat map wise, I'll put it on the screen here, it was quite central. In the first half, you can see I got not too wide. It was quite a big pitch. That's why I thought I worked harder than I did. But in the second half, you can see very much this big square where it was just like one-way traffic all the way down. Spent a lot of time in the middle of the park, watching the long ball, waiting for a quick counter. And you can see that in my sprints as well, where I didn't hit very many high sprints because there weren't that many counters, but there were enough to sort of get through. So, you know, in terms of the stats, it's not really too much learning in terms of today. It's just good to know that how I felt about the game is validated in terms of I had to spend a lot of time in the other half because that's where they were camped out initially. But onto the game itself, it was quite tough. South Park went 1-0 up against the run of play, and then that caused a lot of friction because they weren't expected to be 1-0 up. And then what this means is that we have a different situation on our hands where every challenge and every free kick is contested in terms of that's not a foul, that is a foul, that's not a foul, that is a foul. And we had a decision on the 58th minute. Actually, I can tell you exactly when it was. So we got a match. On the 67th minute, it was, where a player jumped up on the halfway line and deliberately handballed it. Yellow card. They wanted a red card for Dogzo, the last man. And I said, he didn't have in control of the ball because the ball bounced. Nobody was in control of it. He's basically flattened it down. There was nobody behind him. There was covering defenders. There was a lot. And my instant reaction was yellow card. So my gut feeling was correct. I spoke to this Coops yesterday in the car, but obviously the audio didn't work. So, but he thought it was right as well. And in my gut, I was like, yellow, yellow, yellow. And then in the 74th minute, we had a penalty appeal, which was a penalty. Quick break for South Park, almost killed the game off, 74th minute. And the keeper took out the striker, and I gave yellow card for it. They wanted a red card because it was last man. I said, can't send the keeper off for Dogzo because he made a genuine attempt to play the ball, but it was a bit of a reckless one, like he hit the top of his shoulder, sort of missed the ball, got him. So I was like, yeah, okay, yellow card. And no one really complained about that. They complained about lots of little things, and that's, at this level, is different to what it was at county league level and different to what it is at Sunday league level as well in terms of what they complain for. So they want to play a physical game, so you let them play a physical game. And in terms of physicality, there's a very tight line. And sometimes it breaks over, you give a foul, and sometimes it doesn't, but they want the foul. And it's very much, I want to be able to do it to them, but they can't do it to me. And it's trying to get that message across to everyone that you're allowing things to continue and play to go on and this to happen and that to happen. And they weren't really too happy with that. But at the end of the game, they were like, oh, I thought you refereed it well. So it's just during the game, they're footballers. So it's hard to manage those games because everyone's having a go. Tensions are high. You can't win in those situations. You give a Stonewall penalty and someone's still arguing about a decision because they want the keeper sent off. And it's like, hang about, you've got a penalty, a yellow card, and you haven't understood why I've given a yellow. Like, you try and explain to these players and they're not having any of it. But, you know, Walton and Hersom played really good football. So in terms of a development point or a learning point for me, was good to watch teams play football, like build up from the back, get my position in. And then similarly on the other side, it was interesting to see a team just lump the ball up the top and hope for the best and defend compact. So it means I could work out almost two different styles of play in that one game, which allowed me to obviously improve my skills going into what will be the same, I think, on Saturday, which is at Haywards Heath. No assessor as well. Both clubs seem pretty happy. South Park are obviously absolutely buzzing. You're the best referee in the world because they've won 2-0. Walton and Hersom were just like, we weren't good enough today. So actually, they were very gracious in defeat. I didn't meet any of their owners, but their manager was really nice and very honest and was like, look, there's nothing you could have done. I gave 5 yellows in the game. There wasn't really a bad tackle in the game. Just a lot of technical stuff, like delaying the restart we had because obviously a team that weren't expected to be 2-0 up were 2-0 up. And, you know, we come into, you know, nearly November now and we've got lots of games coming up. But the next game will be at Haywards Heath. So that's the analysis. It's not great. I'm a bit disappointed that obviously my footage didn't work from yesterday. But we move on. So for the rest of the day, it's recover and start training again for Saturday. So I'll catch you guys in a bit. So that is it. That's another weekly vlog. South Park done, Walton and Hersom done, a new ground ticked off in terms of refereeing, and a new team that I've never refereed before ever. So I've done South Park on the line, but I've never done Walton and Hersom. So thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you next week at Haywards Heath for the next REFSIX weekly vlog. See ya.